returned. I apologize for being away for so long. I've been pretty busy with school and stuff. But I've managed to find time to make another recording. I'll be reviewing Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Just also really quick, I did want to let you guys know about a project that I am working on for this channel. I'm planning on doing a full-length, very in-depth analysis slash review of the Little Mermaid remake. I don't know when that will be finished, because it's probably going to take a while, and I'm also about to start clinical rotations, which will take up a good chunk of my time. Also, I'm not sure how long it's going to be exactly. It's probably going to be, you know, similar to Your Movie Sucks, his review of the Lion King remake, if you guys watch him. I don't know if I'm going to split mine into 2 parts like he did, depending on how long it ends up being. But yeah, I'm still in the middle of writing the script for that. But that hopefully will be coming out eventually at some point. But anyways, I'll just get into a review of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and I guess before I start, I should get into what I thought of Ghostbusters Afterlife. It was fine, I guess. It certainly wasn't as good as I was hoping for, but I thought it was a serviceable sequel, continuation, whatever you want to call it, of the Ghostbusters franchise. I liked that we spent a good chunk of the movie with the new characters. They didn't just solely try to rely on, you know, nostalgia bait and just bring back the old characters, which is not something that I can say for this movie. But yeah, I think it was serviceable. You could tell that the filmmakers really loved the original Ghostbusters, and you know, they really wanted to do the franchise justice. And I thought it was fine. The actors were all, you know, fine. The writing was okay. And it was a good time. It was something that I'd recommend it. You know, it's probably not something that you're gonna love unless, I don't know, you're maybe a huge diehard Ghostbusters fan, but it was okay, I guess, is my final verdict on that. So now we have the sequel to that, which is the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and basically it's the continuation of, we basically got to know the family of one of the Ghostbusters, and the Spangler family, and I guess they've all become Ghostbusters now, even the parents, which I don't know if I missed something in the last movie, because I don't know, I kind of got the sense that the mom didn't really want anything to do with the Ghostbusters, even at the end. I don't know, I just thought it was kind of odd that now she's really gung-ho about it, and it's yeah, I'm a Ghostbuster now. I don't know, maybe I just forgot something from the last movie, but I thought that was kind of odd. But yeah, basically start off the whole family are Ghostbusters now, including Paul Rudd, who basically just, you know, plays Paul Rudd in every movie that he's in. He's the main character, Phoebe, her teacher slash stepdad kind of figure. And they're in the old, the firehouse that the Ghostbusters used to use. And they basically have to stop this, frost giant god ghost figure, who gets unleashed from, this, old artifact. And, there's also this, subplot where, McKenna Grace's character, Phoebe, befriends this ghost girl, who I don't know if it was implied that they were kind of like gay for each other. That was kind of the vibe I was getting. I don't know if that was like the intention. But yeah, I guess I'll start off with the things that I liked about this movie. The actors, again, I thought were all, for the most part, fine. I'm not, like, a huge fan of the way that, like, some of the characters are written. Like, for example, like, the main girl, Phoebe, like, I don't know, like, I think McKenna Grace is a great actor, and she plays the character really well. I just don't like the way the character is written. Like, she just seems, like, constantly, like, hostile towards everyone, and she's, like, honestly, like, kind of, like, nasty to, like, her mom and, like, everyone around her, and, like, I don't know, like, she just seems like she's just angry all the time, and, like, I don't know, I feel like I could maybe sympathize with it more if it was at least, like, justified, but it kind of seems like she just, like, acts like this for, like, no reason. Like, in this movie, for example, like, I guess, like, this big, like, problem that she faces is that, like, the government, I guess, told her family that she can't be a Ghostbuster because she's under 18, and the family has to stop letting her go out on, like, ghost busting missions and stuff. And then, like, she just spends, like, the rest of the movie, like, being really angry and, like, snapping at, like, her parents and stuff. But, like, that wasn't her parents' decision. Like, they didn't want to, like, you know, have to remove her from the team. And, like, or even, like, there's, like, scenes where, like, her, you know, stepdad figure is, like, saying, like, you know, like, I'm sorry that, like, this happened and it's only temporary and, you know, and all this stuff. And so it's, like, why are you getting mad at them? Like, they weren't the ones who made this decision. Like, I just found it, like, very odd. And I don't know, I find it, like, again, because, like, this is the main character and we spend so much time with her, like, it's hard to, like, you know, sympathize with her when she acts so, like, unlikable all the time. The actress that played the ghost girl that she befriends, Emily Allen Lind, I think is her name. She was really good. I'm curious to see what else she's been in. I don't think I've seen her in anything else. But no, was she in Doctor Sleep? Oh, this is saying she was in Doctor Sleep. I think I remember seeing her in Doctor Sleep. You know, she's really good. And again, all the old actors from the original movies, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, they're all great, you know. I feel like, you know, the movie kind of doesn't know what to do with them at times, but, you know, they play their roles pretty well. And the villain, I thought, was an interesting idea. I just wish it was more fleshed out. Like, we honestly don't spend a whole lot of time getting to, like, we don't spend a whole lot of time with the villain. Like, he doesn't really come in until, like, the very end, and we only get, like, one scene where we, like, talk about his backstory. But, like, this idea of, like, a, you know, frozen god, like, turns the whole world to, like, an ice planet, basically. Like, it's an interesting idea. I just wish it was fleshed out more. And I thought the opening scene, I thought, was pretty well done. That, you know, it was pretty suspenseful. Like, it was a scene where we, like, it's a flashback essentially to, like, when the frozen god person, I think, was first unleashed in, like, the early 1900s. And I thought that was pretty well done. It's pretty well paced. There was a couple of, you know, cheap jump scares you can see coming from, like, a mile away, but other than that, it definitely got me interested. And then, like, once we started getting into, like, the family dynamics, that's when I kind of, like, you know, started to lose interest a little bit. First and foremost, I think my main issue with this movie is that there were just way too many fucking characters in this. Like, you know, I think that, like, again, like, one of the strengths of Ghostbusters Afterlife was that it didn't rely on, like, having to, like, jump into, you know, the other characters and being like, hey, look, remember these guys? And I like that we spent a whole lot of time with the family, even though I feel like they could have been, you know, better written. But this movie is very much, like, trying to, you know, combine both the new characters and the old characters, which I wouldn't mind. It's just, like, they just very obviously don't know what to do with a lot of them and how to work a lot of them into the story. Like, it's kind of like in Toy Story 4 where, like, they had, like, all the old characters, but they very obviously didn't know what to do with them because the majority of the movie was so focused on the new characters that they just kind of like, hey, this character, you say a couple of lines, okay, you've made your contribution, great. And it very much, felt like that. The Finn Wolfhard's character doesn't really contribute much, to be honest. I mean, he's in the movie, but you could cut him out, honestly. Like, he doesn't, like, contribute a whole lot to, like, the main story. He's just kind of there and, does Ghostbustery things. Also, the girl that his character had a crush on is in the movie. I guess she's, like, an intern now for the Ghostbusters, even though I thought she was living in, like, Oklahoma or something. I don't know. Yeah, also, Kumail Nanjiani is a firebender, because that is a thing that exists now, apparently. Again, kind of like Logan Paul, or not Logan Paul, oh my god, Paul Rudd, sorry. Kind of like Paul Rudd, I feel like he's one of those actors that just kind of, like, plays himself, basically. And I feel like he's supposed to be, like, the big, like, comedic role, even though a lot of the jokes just, honestly, I didn't find very funny. And they do try to bring, a lot of, like, some other characters back, like, Walter Peck is back in this movie to be, like, the bad guy that shuts everything down, but, I don't know, didn't really need him very much in this movie. He's very much just there for, like, again, like, nostalgia bait, and yeah, honestly, I think that the biggest issue with this movie that it's just boring, honestly. Like, the family dynamic wasn't very gripping. Again, the villain was an interesting idea, but it wasn't really fleshed out very much. I couldn't really connect with, the friendship between, Phoebe and the ghost girl, because, again, Phoebe, I think, isn't just a very well-written character, and she's not a very likable character. And yeah, so, I mean, overall, I guess, I guess from that you can probably figure out if this is a movie that you want to go see. Again, if you're, like, really a diehard, Ghostbusters fan, you might, like, you might just smile at, just some of the references and stuff, but overall, it's just, I don't think it's worth, the price of a ticket, to be honest. It's just not very memorable. I'm definitely not gonna remember it. Oh, one other positive, though, I will say, is that the kid that plays, there's this character called Podcast, he's actually pretty funny. I guess he's so supposed to be, like, an, intern, working for, Dr. Stantz. He was pretty funny. I thought that some of his lines were actually, like, the funniest, which is interesting because he's, like, this just very, like, random character, but, yeah, I thought he was actually pretty good. But other than that, yeah, it's honestly a skippable movie. I don't think you'll be missing out on a whole lot by not seeing it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just not very memorable, and I don't know if they're gonna make another one after this. Guess we'll see how this does at the box office, but yeah, wasn't great. So yeah, that's my review, and hopefully, depending on what my schedule's looking like, I can get some other videos out for you guys, and I'll, keep working on the Little Mermaid review that I do want to get out at some point. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.